Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports.
Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports with Tyler Drake and Lauren Koval.
Welcome back into another episode of Cardinals Corner Bird Gang. Tyler Drake, Lauren Koval here once again to preview another Cardinals game. We're still in the season. We're still going. It might feel like the rails are coming off. The wheels are coming off the rails. But, hey, we're still here.
It's going so poorly. The rails of the ride are coming off.
Literally, yes.
Yep.
But before we get into that, how you doing today? It's a little wet out there. It was very surprised I did not get rained on it during the open portion of practice today.
No, out. I saw you guys out in the bubble.
That's where we started.
Yes. Yep. So moving outside, I love this weather. So I'm doing great.
It's got the Northern California vibes for sure for me. Oh, yeah. You just need some like snow or something, right? And you'll feel
just
at home.
A little bit of snow, yeah. I need to break out the ice scraper to feel a little bit more.
Shovel some snow out front. Yep. Okay, well, no snow in the forecast, maybe some hail. But Jacksonville Jaguars are definitely on the forecast this week.
Yep.
And that's the return of a guy like Dennis Gardeck, a guy like Spencer Whipple, who got a lot of praise from Nick Rawls already this week. But before we dive into the nuts and bolts of that, now the Cardinals can get back in the win column. We got some injuries to dive into. Do you want to start good news or bad news?
Let's start bad news.
Okay, let's start with the bad news. So, Marvin Harrison Jr. out once again, which you had mentioned during our last pod that was probably the case. And looking at some of the other players that underwent surgery for appendicitis.
Yep, an appendectomy.
Yes, multiple weeks. I know. I just want to say appendectomy, but I feel like I'm going to like stumble on it.
I get it.
So he's missing another week. That means Michael Wilson back into wide receiver 1. But some positive news on the injury side. Trey Benson, practice window is opened up. So one step closer to getting back. Maybe it's a Garrett Williams timeline where it's only a week and he's back in the action. Limited participant at practice so far. So we'll have to see there, but a good sign. And then today at practice, Will Johnson and Will Hernandez were back out practicing. So very good sign there, at least from the cornerback situation. I know we saw Isaiah Adams in there last week. Jonathan Gannon said that was more health related, but I do think they want to see what he can bring to the table moving forward as well. But good to have Will squared out there to kind of ease the bad news of the injuries front.
Yes, and Amari DiMercado out this week, high ankle sprain. So it's all the more important that we see Trey Benson start to get healthy because you don't really know the timeline on a high ankle sprain. Those kind of things can be 1 week or out, easy recovery, or it's a little iffy and you don't want to push it, so you take a second week off. Then you could see Trey Benson back healthy, ready to go. That being said, Michael Carter, Bam Knight, probably a combo of them again in the rushing game there. Bam Knight popped up on the injury report yesterday.
He's out there today.
In a limited fashion. I'm not worried about that, though.
You know who I'm worried about?
Yeah.
What they're going to do at tackle. Because Jonah Williams didn't practice today. Kelvin Beachum didn't practice today. So right tackle is very much up in the air. Josh Fryer might be going from extra blocker to right tackle heading into the, it's getting a little iffy there. And it's Kelvin usually misses a day of practice for rest, but growing issue. So that's definitely just something to watch. And then no Rabbit again. So another one, safety. Baron Browning as well, missing again. And I think he's still in concussion protocol. So that very much tells me that you've got to get back on the field with that non-contact before you can take the next step. So I don't think he's going to be able to get back in time. No, it just doesn't look like it.
Thursday's injury report is always the day where it feels like you can sort of glean the most from it, where you upgraded from Wednesday's practice, where it's basically any name of anybody who's kind of injured shows up on the injury report on Wednesday. Then Thursday, you start to filter it out. Are they really hurt? Are we going to see them in a limited capacity? Are they being upgraded throughout the week then? And so Thursday's kind of the day where you can tell, are you going to be back? Are you not? So the fact that he's still in concussion protocol to me says he's not ready to go.
Yeah. So a lot of things got to happen there. Obviously, BJ Ojulari is back in the mix too. So they're not really at a deficit at pass rusher. They've got Jordan Birch as well. So if Barron doesn't go, it's not the absolute end of the world. But it is Jacksonville, and from the other side of the ball, they have been very, very good turnover-wise. I mean, there is not many teams that are doing better than Jacksonville in the takeaways battle. Only one, Chicago Bears, 22 to 18 right now, tied with the Rams for the most, or second most. And their differential, just +8 with all of those, but still just they have been advantageous of getting the ball back to the offense. So that's going to be the big thing. And you look at what Jacoby Brissett and this offense has done. They've moved the ball well, but they've also been giving the ball away. 3 turnovers last week. That cannot be the case because clearly the Jaguars look like they're on the upward trend.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm starting. It's all about, there's a couple of T's to this game. If you can get these T's right, you're good. So it really does start with the turnovers for me.
And what we saw happen in the Seattle game where Jacoby Brissett didn't have everybody in his offensive line healthy, ready to go, and he's fumbling the ball mid-throw. It's returned for a touchdown twice in that game.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of things that you worry about when you don't have your tackles out there ready to go, when you don't have the depth at that position that we can easily sort of sub somebody in. We were happy earlier on in the season because we were like, if Jonah Williams has got to go down, we got Beach. Beach is ready to go. Beach is not ready to go anymore. So now it becomes a lot more shuffling. Are people going to have to play positions that they're not comfortable in just to get a healthy offensive line out there? It surely seems like that. And then that only adds to the Jags' ability to get at Jacoby Brissett and force him to be uncomfortable in the pocket, whether that's throwing an interception, whether that's him fumbling the ball, whether that's in crunch time situations in a way where Kyler Murray could at least run out of the pocket and try to make something happen. We haven't seen Jacoby Brissett's ability to do that so far. So maybe even just holding on to the ball too long for long losses in the game, multiple yards. And then we're back to the long third downs for the Arizona Cardinals.
Which, hey, they're pretty good at those when it comes at the end of the day. But that's definitely the point of they've got to play clean. And they can't, I think we all can say they cannot have the kind of penalty showing they did last week, regardless of if that referee group was very high flag or not. Look at what the Niners did. They only had one penalty? You got to be more disciplined than that. And so that's going to be something you've got to watch this game, plus the turnovers. If you play clean, you're going to be in this game. Because, yes, Jacksonville, they're 6-4 right now? That's good. They're
fighting for a playoff spot.
And not world beaters, though.
No.
Not by any means. So that's the area where you really have to clean up. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. And here's the other thing. They've only allowed 15 sacks, or they've only had 15 sacks this year.
And
that's low. That's the third lowest mark in the season behind the Niners, who Cardinals just played last week. This should be, even with replacements, you should be able to have some backing there for Jacoby to get the ball out.
And we saw the Jags have one of their best games of the season last week against the Chargers, where it just felt like they were clicking on all cylinders while they weren't getting to Justin Herbert in the way that those sack numbers represent. They were putting enough pressure on him that the Chargers only put up 6 points in that game. Yeah,
they only got him twice for a sack. But like you said, they were forcing him to throw early, get it out of the way, and they capitalized. 35-6. That was a beat down. Justin Herbert, 81 yards. Trey Lance, 37 yards. Woo.
Yeah,
Woo.
No, and those are the kind of numbers.
For the 7-4 Chargers.
I know, and those are the kind of numbers that worry you about Jacoby Brissett, because while we've seen Michael Wilson take the step forward as wide receiver 1 in the absence of Marvin Harrison Jr., Justin Herbert's got a lot of targets out there too, wide receiver wise. He's got Keenan Allen back. He's got Ladd McConkey. He's got Quentin Johnson. there's a lot of options for him to target.
The second.
Yeah, when he's healthy.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of options out there. So you can almost sort of mirror the Cardinals' offensive struggles and hope that doesn't come to bite them in the way it did the Chargers against the Jags. Yeah,
another area I'm looking at is they've got to stop this two-headed running game. And I think Tootin was actually on the injury report, so we'll have to see.
ETN and Tootin were both on the injury report.
I think they're just limited, though, so it should be they should play, but that's double-headed rushing attack right there.
In different ways, too. ETN's a little bit more of your dynamic pass catcher in the way that James Conner is. He's an interesting running back that if it's 3rd and 1, you're confident he can get the 1, but he can also catch in that middle zone for Lawrence there. Tootin, he's been sort of a new introduction into this team and what he's been able to do there, and he brings more of that dynamic sort of Bam Knight, Michael Carter style to this Jags offense.
Yeah, they're 8th in the league with yards per game on the ground with 127.5. They've got 14 touchdowns, which is fourth in the league. Rushing. You've got to stop that. Make Trevor make mistakes. Because I think he's like 11-9 touchdown to interception ratio right now. So there's a way to make this offense a little more messy. And like we just talked about, they're only +8 in the turnover differential, and they've been very good getting the ball away. So opportunities there. But speaking of opportunity, there's another big T that has got a ton of opportunity this week. Trey McBride. And I think every week's been a big opportunity for Trey McBride, but this one is one of those, if you have him on your fantasy team, you're like, oh man, this has the chance to really, really blow up. Because the Jaguars, as good as they are in turnover battle, they are bad against tight ends. They are third worst giving up touchdowns, 7, nearly 700 yards, 64 catches, 90 targets. That's an area people are trying to exploit. And when you have a star like Trey McBride, I think it's easy to say if he does not have 10 targets on Sunday, that's going to be a big what are we doing here?
Truly. And you know that it's an area of concern for the Jags when Liam Cohen, their head coach, gets up on the presser and calls Trey McBride out specifically and goes, we have got to guard that guy. Our issues with tight end have been perilous this entire season. That is the one area we have not seen the Jags improve upon. It's the one area that continues to beat them down. Brock Bowers, coming back from injury, got his own against the Jags. Trey McBride, who's not injured,
is in a much better spot than Brock Bowers right now.
A much better setup. He's got a better QB throwing to him than what the Raiders have been dealing with this season.
Yes.
Sorry, Pete Carroll. But I swear that man, by the way, has made a deal with the devil because he looks fabulous running out there. I don't know if you saw him before the Raiders game this week taking passes. I'm like, Pete, what are you doing? Get over on the sidelines. Like, no. So I'm glad that that's worked out for him in that way.
Does he have a gum deal? He's got to have a gum deal, right?
Or something.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Right?
If not, this is a missed opportunity.
Big time.
By the Raiders to bring in more money.
Yeah. Come on, Big Red. Where you at?
Come on, let's do it. But no, like the point of this being that Trey McBride could really have his own on Sunday. And then you hope that is something that the Cardinals have been doing all season that is playing from behind.
Yeah.
And you hope that once you get it to Trey McBride and maybe exploit the Jags early on, that you can actually have a lead in this game and not feel as if it's perilous the entire game.
Well, we need to see special teams take a step.
Yes.
Because I think if they can take a step, that's going to put this offense, the defense, in a much better spot. Because last game, it was one play and it was already, there's the game plan. We've got to adjust. So that's a big area. And I mean, they might have another pair of hands in that one or body. Trent Sherfield, out of nowhere, back with the Cardinals. He was here 2018 to 2020, which I can't believe it was that long ago. It does not feel like it's been that long ago since I covered that guy. So cool to see him back. Got to talk to him in the locker room. He's got the same locker that was next to Fitz way back when. So really cool to see him back. But back on Trey, heading into week 12, pacing all NFL tight ends, catches, yards, first downs, tied with Goddard for 7 touchdowns. The dude's getting after it. Like, he's on pace to break Jackie Smith's franchise single season record of 1,205 yards. And that's been there since 1967. So, and I wrote this on ArizonaSports.com. Go check it out. As bad as this season has gone for the Cardinals, this is your silver lining. This is what you have to keep tuning into to see, because he's putting together one of these seasons that's going to continually be talked about. Oh, yeah, in 2025, Trey McBride did this when the next guy's coming up the rank. Like, he's going to be a placeholder for a long time for some of these records, at least franchise-wise. So it's bad right now. The wheels feel like they've come off. The rails came off, like we said earlier. But this should keep you tuned in. It'll
be interesting, too, when he hopefully breaks it this season and you talk about it and you go, oh, who was his quarterback? Jacoby Brissett? Yeah. It'll be like one of those weird things years down the line where you're like, oh, right, I remember that season. Mm-hmm. It was horrible, but here's a bright spot in it. And another silver lining to this point in the season that I also have my eye on in this game against the Jags is Marvin Harrison Jr. has not performed as we wanted him to, or as anybody expected, as a true wide receiver one this season. He now is out after having his appendix removed. You saw Michael Wilson come in. I think that is what I'm keeping my eye on this game specifically, is can Michael Wilson do not what he did on Sunday? I have no expectation. That's incredible what he ended up doing last Sunday. Can he keep it up, though?
Yeah.
And can he show what he is? Because then we have another thing
thing to talk about.
And it's also another thing like off of the draft board. The Cardinals don't need a wide receiver too then. That's one thing we don't have to worry about because we saw what Michael Wilson could do. So I'm really intrigued as they go up against the Jags this week if we can see Michael Wilson sort of show his breakout capabilities again so we know that last week wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, like we just talked about with them getting fewer sacks, like Jacksonville not getting to the quarterback, they're going to be able to, he's going to get open. Mm-hmm. They're going to be able to link up on some deeper shots. So I think I'm not putting it out of question whatsoever that he's going to get it done again. Especially, I mean, we just talked about Trey, but yeah, I do think Michael Wilson's going to get it done. If they can get Trey Benson back, it's going to definitely help the run game. But I think we're seeing this pass heavy offense kind of taking over now. So would be great to see that kind of flip a little bit, be more balanced. But I do think it's going to be a lot of Michael Wilson targets, Trey McBride targets, and hopefully plenty of touchdowns.
Yeah, and it's sort of all about the expectations game. When we started the season, we had our ideas of what the Cardinals would need by the end of the season and what we were looking at to grow and be better. Some of that being Marvin Harrison Jr. being a true wide receiver one. How was the run game going to adapt with Trey Benson as RB2? Would he, get closer to those 50-50 snaps with James Conner? Mm-hmm. Those are the things we started the season talking about. Now,
this feels like a long time ago.
I know. Well, because it was kind of, we're towards the end of the NFL season now. We've passed the halfway point. So with the adjustment of expectations and what were you expecting, now as you pivot to look at what's important for the Cardinals, it's, okay, is Michael Wilson the wide receiver too? When Trey Benson comes back, what can he do there? What have we learned about the offensive line by the end of the season? And where do we feel like they really need to target in the draft? And I think we've already answered the biggest question when we started the season, which was quarterback. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that question feels very much answered with plenty of teams that could potentially use Kyler Murray's services too.
Truly.
And one more just got added in the mix with the Falcons because Penix is going to be out for a while. We'll have to see what that recovery time's like. But if they need he needs a reclamation type project and are going to move off of Kirk Cousins, because that's a lot of money.
I imagine they will.
Kyler Murray kind of fits right into that situation.
And I feel bad for Michael Penix because he needs a full reconstructive surgery of that ACL.
On the other knee, too.
Which is the key. So he blew I'm going to mix this up, but I don't mean to. He blew out his right knee.
I think he did that twice.
Right knee twice and now it's in college, and now it's the left one.
Just terrible. Mm-hmm. Terrible. So, yeah. There's still a lot of things to get decided, but I think offensive line-wise, that needs to be a target in the draft. Mm-hmm. I think, the wide receiver 2 debate, you can clearly, Michael Wilson's clearly erasing that right before our eyes. But yeah, that's going to be a very interesting showdown. I really don't know how this one's going to go either way. Should be close. Should be close. We should not have another one of these it's over by halftime type deals.
And a Jags player to keep your eye on. Josh Hines-Allen has put together a phenomenal season for the Jags.
Yes.
And the Jags are one of those teams in the NFL that is good, but they're not great, so they don't get talked about a lot in the national media. And so there aren't these highlights of, NFL MVP or comeback player or whatever.
Yeah.
But Josh Hines-Allen is getting his own for the Jags this season and has been impressive beyond belief. So just if you want to see a great football player on the opposite side of the ball, because I think we would have both assumed it would have been Travis Hunter heading into this game if he wasn't
Brian
out for
Thomas.
the year. Yeah, that
he's taking a huge step back.
So Josh Hines-Allen is my guy for the Jags in terms of keep your eye on him. Just watch him because he's truly a talent.
I'm going to give you another name. Dennis Gardeck. You keep your eye on him just because he'll be back in Arizona, and it's great to see that dude back. Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys that you just want to see do well. So the Barbarian's back. Hopefully he doesn't go completely off, but go have a game, man. Mm-hmm. Good to see you.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
No ill will there at all.
No ill will at all.
No.
I do want to say before we get out of here, this week I actually got to go hang out with Kelvin Beacham and Paris Johnson. They did their annual Thanksgiving food distribution, helping out Mesa Public School families. So it was really cool to see all that. I mean, a ton of families got through. 250 families totally fed, full Thanksgiving meals. So big shout out to those guys. It wasn't just them though. They had the rookie class, full 2025. So Cody Simon, Will Johnson, Walter Nolan, all the guys there. Really cool to see that. Rabbit also showed up. He's dealing with that injury, but still took the time. So really cool to see. And I actually saw the pair of Germans that wanted to drink with Trey McBride helping out.
Oh, yes.
So Alex Foodball, that's how I know him. So that's good to see that. It was a great time. And it poured rain. It absolutely poured rain, but gave us a little bit of window. And so really cool to see everybody getting in and giving back to the community. Obviously, the season has not gone the way that anybody expected, but seeing stuff like that, always positive.
You've also got the video up on your social media, too, if you want to check that out.
Go check it out for sure. With that, anything else you want to leave us with?
I think we've put a bow on this one.
All right. Well, like always, follow the show at AZ Cards Corner. You can follow me at TDrake for sports, and you can follow Lauren at Colville_Lauren. We will be back right here on Sunday to talk Cardinals, Jaguars. Jaguars or Jaguars?
Jaguars.
Jaguars. I'm terrible. That's terrible. I know I'm bad. Bickley, don't yell at me. But until then, we'll catch you guys then. Have a great time, and hopefully we are talking about a Cardinals win this time around.